Hello, YouTube. I was gonna wait until I had my place in the back where I can make my good quality videos, where I can actually record the audio directly in, not through a phone or camera microphone. But I just had to get this video out. I wanted to show all this. This is a Baldwin Discoverer 60, which looks fancy, but really this is just a Casio. Now, from what I can tell, this isn't actually a reskinned Casio like some Honor model keyboards are. This, as far as I can tell, I could be wrong, but as far as I can tell, this is a unique keyboard made by Casio for Baldwin, and it seems to be the only keyboard Casio ever made for Baldwin as well. Because I tried to find others, and I found there's a Discoverer 50, but it's like much older, it's from the 70s, and it's actually like an analog organ. This is, I guess, meant for, it's called the Discoverer, so it's like new people, you know, like amateur stuff. I thought this is kind of interesting. It has some interesting things. One thing that will definitely give it away that it's Casio is when you look at these these tone names. When you see funny, yeah, that's early 80s, mid 80s Casio right there. You know, you know that sound. So, what do we got? We got chords off Funner 1. The only difference is they sound a little bit different, and they can play a little bit differently. Rhythm fill-ins, start, stop of the rhythm, synchronization, traditional rhythms. There's 6 switchable by a select button. 6 tones, but selectable with a alternate button, so there could be 12. Effects, sustain. The sustain is very light. Not like so light that it's unusable, but it's a very, very modest sustain. Even for like Casio, sustains usually hold a lot longer than the sustain does on this. The chorus just thickens the sound a little bit, doesn't really do anything. The only thing you'll really notice the chorus change is the pipe organ. It really makes it like jazzy, like really, that's one way to explain it. But I'll give you an example of that later. And another dead giveaway that this is Casio is right here. This ROM pack. Now it says Baldwin, but as you can see, this is the same pack that came standard with most Casio boards, just reskinned as Baldwin. So it's identical. With those identical 4 tracks that are on the typical Casio World Songs pack. And that's selectable. There's also memory start, memory mode, and record. You can record your playing on here. I haven't really mastered it, but yeah. Also, there's main volume. It's kind of finicky. When you have it at certain spots, the left speaker stops working. So I have to keep it at this spot to keep them both working. Here's our, what are they? They're 1 watt or 2 watt speakers. Then they have another speaker right here for the microphone. I think all that does is just your voice comes through it if you speak in with a microphone. But I haven't tested it, so I don't know about that. So microphone out, phones out. 1 key chord. And this is interesting, as if you click that, it'll hold the note of the chord. It'll hold a chord down. But after the first time playing this keyboard, it never worked again. So I don't know what was weird about that, but it just stopped working. Around to the back, we have a tune knob, a sustain pedal input, foot volume input, line out left and right, and 1/4 inch jacks. See, that's pretty good that you don't have to use RCA, but seeing the age of this, there's no MIDI, plus just being a home keyboard. I mean, home keyboards eventually got MIDI, but not in the early 80s. Like, even synths are starting just to have them because this one just came out. So that's all we got on the round back. It also can, besides running off 9-volt DC, can also run off 6D batteries. So, less about it, now let's hear it. Now, you probably noticed the sticker, this switch, and this switch. So this is what happened. I was going to sell this, but no one was buying it, because I bought it just to say, oh, it's a Baldwin Casio keyboard. It might be unique, but it's pretty much the same sounds. And the person that sold it to me said it was not functioning. So I thought, okay, no offense, but coming from Flint, Michigan, I'm like, okay, this person's probably leaded. They probably had a little bit too much lead in their water. So who knows if it's really that broken, because it looked fine. You know, there's probably something, maybe like a solder connection was loose or something. But what I found out was really, really kind of funny. The person had been using the wrong adapter. Whereas, like, you know, you can either have center positive or center negative. Well, they were using the wrong version. They were using, whatever. I can't remember now, but whatever one guitar pedals use, that's the kind it takes. But I can't remember. But this one, they were using the other one. I always forget which one's which. You know, I just plug and play. Whatever one works. But yeah. So I got that working. This speaker wasn't working, but I finagled this, and now everything seems to work with this. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool deal, because these usually sell for around $90 plus shipping, but they do rarely sell because, as far as I can tell, it's a really rare model. So yeah, not many of these were made. So I couldn't sell it, and I'm like, all right, let's just try circuit bending. I've never tried circuit bending a real instrument, only toys. So I thought, you know, I'd break it. Which for a second I almost did because it went silent, but I jumped it back off by hitting other points. But we started with this one. Now what happened is when I was making the hole for this one, I accidentally drilled over here. So when I made this point, it was okay. And I'm like, I'm not going to try any more bends because I don't want to ruin the keyboard. But I'm like, that hole over there just looks so ugly. And so I found another bend, and I'm so glad that I went with it, because the second bend is so much better than the first bend. And you're wondering why the sticker's here. Well, I was lazy. I didn't mount this right, because these two switches I had, they're missing all the hardware, because I had these two switches sitting out, and I had lost all the things with them except for just one of the nuts on each. So they couldn't be put on right, so they had to be braced up against the plastic on the inside. And that one was good, but this hole was too far out, so it couldn't brace itself. So I had to re-drill a few times. So there's a few holes right here covered by the sticker. But now it's working. But yeah, in the future that wouldn't be an issue, because I'll have all the right hardware to mount it. But yeah, this video has been long enough without you hearing anything. I'm going to make a shorter version, or maybe not. Maybe I'll just keep this as a review so you know all about it. This will be a circuit bent keyboard review. All right. I'll put a timestamp, or yeah, skip to 8 minutes for the sounds. So first you're wondering on this, what does this switch do? All right. This switch switches these sounds into an alternate version. The alternate versions are usually, it's almost kind of like they have an LFO going really fast through them with also a bit crusher. That's the best way to describe that effect. Out of the 12 sounds, 8 of them are affected this way, and 4 of them it adds almost like an attack that you click it and it doesn't sound till you let go. So those 4 sounds really didn't do much to. But 8 of them does really cool stuff, especially the Celesta. I really like what it does there. Now another cool feature I didn't notice until just today with this is when you have a drum pattern going, if you switch this right as a certain drum part triggers, you can hold it. It's like a drum hold. So you can actually use this. It's almost like I gave it a custom drumming feature, which is pretty cool. Now that was unintended and awesome. I've actually probably made this cooler than I ever thought I would. So I am going to keep it. But if any of you have a Baldwin Discover 60 and you want this bend, if you send it to me and you pay to ship it back and forth, I'll do this for you. And yeah, just give me a shout out on your channel or whatever. But this bend isn't really worth redoing. It's kind of It makes a constant noise. It's really just one patch, because the patches are slightly different, so it doesn't really make a difference. It's a constant loud hum noise, but the hum noise that it makes can be affected by bass, chord volume, and stereo. The chorus is added to that hum volume too. Whereas those custom sounds from this, the chorus and stuff really doesn't do anything to it. So first off, I'm going to show you the drums. All right, let's start a drum pattern. Let's go. Put it back on with our chords and stuff. Let's pause it. See if we can pause it at a faster tempo. Wait. Let's turn off our bass. And freeze. Let's freeze a hi-hat. Let's get one. And we can change the tempo of that held note. And you can play over it. Pretty cool. Pretty cool beats there. It's harder to hold the note when it's going faster. It's more musically awesome, but a lot harder to grab it, as you can tell. See how much harder it is to grab that note? Let's try another beat. Alright, so now when you're in this modded drum mode, what you do is you have to go into chords and have this on, but then it'll disable all these keys while you're in this custom drummer mode. And doing that custom drummer mode, like I said, it's kind of disabled. See how the chords are off? They're still there in spirit. Now they're really off when you're in that custom drummer mode. Now let's try starting that beat again. Now watch this. I'm going to show you something interesting. Now that's the drummer feature of it. Now we're going to do in the custom sounds feature. So we'll start with the piano sound. Pretty normal piano. Now, when you add in the customization sound source, listen to it now. Now notice the chorus doesn't do anything. They don't do anything. Imagine it's kind of like the sustain is always on because it's unaffected by it. So next sound, harpsichord. Now this is with the stereo chorus. See how the harpsichord? I have the stereo chorus set all the way up because I like how that sounds better. I can show you how they sound without it. Stereo chorus minimal. Stereo chorus halfway. Fast. About halfway is fair, but so harpsichord now. Let's add our change sound in there. I would try two-hand playing, but you can't see why I do that. We'll do that on a better sound. Now I'll switch to electric guitar. Add in our alternate. Pipe organ. Now here, I'm going to show you this without the stereo chorus. Listen. I'm going to set this down for a second. I'm sorry about that, just so I can do a little bit more with this. Alright, so that's normal, right? Sorry, I'm not that good at playing. I kind of mess up a lot. Still need to get some training so I can actually get good at that. So I'm going to show you what that sounds like. Let's have the chorus in there. Just slow chorus. Medium. Now fast. Now listen. No chorus. Fast chorus. More funky, right? Now let's alright, so now let's mess that sound back up. Woo. Trumpet. Alright, now let's add this in. See, this is one of the ones that had that tack delay on it. Also, I don't know if I mentioned it, but say you're playing notes, you can actually, this switch, it'll hold the notes too. Like, let's see, I'm holding these two, and then enable it. Now they're held. Now when I turn it off, they're gone. Now, but if I did it like this, still held as I press a new key. See how those are still held? Now watch this. Oh, they're going away. Now they're gone. Now see the 8 voices this has? Say I was holding down 3 chords, or 3 keys, sorry. It's kind of like the Juno 6 in this aspect. If those are held down, I can still use the other 5 voices, but once it cycles through the voice with each key you press. So even if I press this and let go, and then press another one, that's still voice 2. It doesn't restart on voice 1. Like, it doesn't keep using voice 1 until you hold it. It uses a new voice every time you click it, whether you hold it or not. So, which is bad because you can't keep those voices held down if you wanted to forever. But it's also good, whereas those voices might actually get locked until you disable them. Now, if you want to disable the held voices, you just click them again. Like, watch. Wait, let me get this right. Hold on a second. Now see, I can do this. It's still going. But I haven't cycled through all 7 voices to get to the 8th yet. But I can still just disable it right away. Now it's disabled right away. It's a pretty cool feature. Very, very weird. This switch does so much for only being 2 points in this keyboard connected to each other. Way more than you could ever imagine from just a single bend. I'm sorry this video is so long and my playing skills aren't the best, but I just wanted to show this off just in case something ever happened to it, in case it died. I just wanted there to be evidence of just how cool this was. So, yeah, we're still cycling through the flute. Sounds now. Oh, yeah. See that slight tonal variation? I forgot to tell you this, but when we're in that custom noise bypass mode, whatever you want to call it, the 8 voice polyphony, it goes to infinite voice polyphony. Basically, there must be something telling the chip to limit to 8 voices. It must be capable of it basically tries to take all the voices it can, but only if you're pressing them all at once. But if you do that, it causes the engine inside to get really just overworked, so the sounds turn into these like liquidy LFO mess kind of noises. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, here's normal, and if we hold on a bunch of keys, or now let's enter this mode. Now, ready? It's getting pretty weird, isn't it? Now watch this. Now this one doesn't shut off good because it's one of those stop and hold sounds. Flute, trumpet, clarinet, and violin. Those are the 4 stop and hold ones that really aren't affected good by this glitch. So now let's select. Now we're on synth flute. It's one of my top 3 sounds in here. Synth flute. Well, I'd say top 4. Synth flute, pipe organ. Oh, there's a lot of good ones. I just can't go on, but yeah. Now let's enable it. See how it holds the note? let's go to a noise I really like on here. Funny. Now, depending on the sound, sometimes it'll keep that note held down, but sometimes when this glitch is enabled, it lets it go, like it does on this. It might actually depend. I think it depends per the sound. If it's a sound that when you hold down the key, it holds forever. Like the top row of sounds pretty much do that. Most of the top ones don't. Bottom ones don't. Sorry, I'm gonna see. It's kind of hard to explain, but all right. So sounds that'll hold when you hold the key down, as long as you hold it, those stay in stuck mode. But sounds that don't, like Celesta, it eventually goes away, even if you hold it. Those sounds are the most usable with this edit because they go away even when they're edited. Sorry about the bad playing again. I'm just need practice, and I need to get taught, I guess, or practice better more, but I haven't had time or space to do that. All right. Let's see. Then we're getting down to the final two sounds. I'm gonna skip Celesta just to come back to it. Electric piano. All right. I saved the best for last, everybody. Celesta. I really love the sound. Think Casio 1000p, or think Tubular Bell Casio version. Oops. Love this one. Now, this is, I saved the best for last. Let's go. Especially this lowest key. It's like almost like a resonant voice filter kind of thing. Or the highest. This is so nice and eerie. And let's make it squirble. Love it. And then back to the original. And then. All right. Well, we had our fun. This video is approaching 30 minutes. If you've made it this far, now you finally get to see what this switch does. Now it's going to be kind of annoying, so I'm sorry. Let's start the, this is weird. The bass actually increases on that sound at minimum, and the chord, and this is kind of like the lower frequencies of that tone. They go up here, down there. This is like the higher and mid-range tones, and it goes up here and down here. So I'm gonna start them both at minimum, and we're gonna turn on this tone. It's gonna be annoying, but bear with me, okay? Oh yes, turn on the chorus too, so you can see how that affects it as well. All right, here we go. Pretty loud, huh? Now if you turn on the bass. Oh, I was wrong, sorry. They both work the right way as they should. That's high bass, low bass. Now let's turn up the higher end tones. You can still play it. And it actually works different if you do it here. Watch. There it's just on and off, but here it's like the tones are just so slightly different on each one that it makes this weird warping kind of a switch effect. I guess that could be useful somewhere. Now the tones of the... Let's go to a... It picks up some of the other ones a little bit better. Like let's try Celesta. No. Pipe organ. Trumpet. Now we can actually enable this with it too. Now listen. It only changes so slightly. Still will hold, you know how we can hold the notes? It'll hold the notes on this mode too. And then chorus. Hold up. Ready? Listen carefully. That's enough of that, isn't it? Okay, I'm sorry, but I still have to show that one off. If I ever been to another